Tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan are once again at a tipping point. Taliban has summoned Pakistan's ambassador after Pakistan's forces carried out cross-border strikes during the intervening night of 21st and 22nd of this month. Islamabad claims it was a precision attack on what it claims militant targets in Afghanistan. On the contrary, Taliban says Pakistani attack killed innocent Afghan civilians. According to Taliban, dozens of innocent civilians are killed in the attack. Afghanistan's Tolo News reported that the strike in Besoud buried 23 members of the family, with only 4 people having been pulled out of the rubble. Local residents in Nangarhar say women, children and the elderly were among those killed.
Last night in Nangarhar province, in Besoud district, at 12 a.m., enemy Punjabi aircraft bombed us. As a result, civilians, including women, children and elderly people, were martyred with great cruelty during this month of Ramzan. This was a crime. Last night, it felt as if Judgment Day had passed over us.
Pakistan has announced it has carried out strikes on 7 locations along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. Pakistani aircraft struck areas in Nangarhar province, including the districts of Khogiani, Ghani Khel and Besoud. Minutes earlier, a strike was reported on a religious seminary in the Bamal district of Paktika. Pakistan's foreign ministry issued a statement saying that it carried out intelligence-based selective targeting of 7 camps and hideouts belonging to Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and an Islamic State offshoot along the border region. The ministry said the strikes were a retributive response to a string of recent suicide bombings inside Pakistan. Following the strikes, Afghan government spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid said that Pakistani military has again launched airstrikes on several civilian areas, resulting in killing of dozens of civilians, including women and children. He added that Afghanistan strongly condemns the violation of its sovereignty and will respond to it at the appropriate time with a fitting and considered response. Mujahid further stated that targeting civilian and religious centers was a clear evidence of Pakistani army's concealment of internal failures. The airstrikes mark a sharp escalation in tensions between the two sides. Pakistan has repeatedly accused Afghanistan of allowing Afghan soil to be used to harbor militants. The relationship between the two countries deteriorated sharply last year after a series of deadly border skirmishes between Pakistani forces and Taliban. The violent clashes had led to prolonged closures of key trade and transit crossings. In a recent interview to France 24, Pakistan's defense minister claimed that almost all franchises of terrorism in Pakistan were because of the non-seriousness of the Kabul government towards curbing terrorism. Last week, Afghanistan's Taliban government released 3 Pakistani soldiers captured during deadly border clashes last October. The move was mediated by Saudi Arabia amid strained relations. With the latest strikes, Pakistan and Taliban are again at loggerheads. Mr. Torek Farhadi is a former Afghan government advisor and senior regional analyst. Is now joining us live from Switzerland. Mr. Farhadi, thank you very much for your time and welcome to the program. When will the difference between these two neighbors end? Who will solve their problems?
Well, reasonable action will solve their problems. Pakistan has put itself in a situation where it has virtual friendships around the globe, but is at war with both of its important neighbors, Afghanistan and India, as we can see. So what's the point? The point is that Pakistan should focus more on improving relations and trust building between the countries. These strikes, as shown by the images we see, were not surgical strikes. We have seen civilians lose lives, and from inside Pakistan, there are voices of regret about such an attack during this time of the year on civilians. Obviously, these attacks will not solve the problem of terrorism in Pakistan. We have to acknowledge that there is a problem of terrorist attacks inside Pakistan, but the solution is not in the unreasonable use of force with such strikes, which frankly damage the image of Pakistan worldwide. Pakistan wants to improve its image, increase its image, and get larger responsibilities in peacekeeping globally. But such missed strikes where it's obvious that Pakistan has said that these were their attacks, and now we see the images that civilians were the victims. This really minimizes the image of Pakistan worldwide. You can just take a look at the magazines and newspapers around the globe, how they have covered this incident.
Mr. Farhadi, going forward, how are these two countries going to deal with the issue of terrorism? Because they both suffer from the same issue, because Pakistan is trying to curb terrorism. Afghanistan, on the other hand, is also trying to curb terrorism. But there's the issue of blame game, because Pakistan has consistently blamed Afghanistan of harboring terrorists.
Well, it is true that there might be some elements of Tehrik Taliban that have now ended up in Afghanistan. It is also true that the government of Afghanistan, the acting government right now, has proposed to displace these Tehrik Taliban in other areas of Afghanistan, so they're not close to the border. Those negotiations should move forward. The help of Saudi Arabia and Turkey to mediate between the two countries should be accepted, valued, and beyond government to government, there is much more trust building is needed between the two countries. Pakistan is dependent on Afghanistan economically because Afghanistan is a market. Right now, the commerce between the two countries are coming to a standstill. That's regrettable. Pakistan is dependent on Afghanistan to access the Central Asian markets. Recently, Mr. Shaukat Mirziyoyev, Uzbekistan's president, traveled to Pakistan and signed several agreements with Pakistan, but the execution of these agreements requires a peaceful region, peaceful relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan, so that Uzbekistan can continue to do commerce in this region. Between the peoples of these countries, there is no animosity. This should be taken as an asset in the negotiations, and trust building is needed in order to come to terms with this problem. Inside Pakistan, there are terrorists who commit regrettable attacks. Those attacks should be addressed inside Pakistan. If these people are committing attacks inside Pakistan, they should be discovered and apprehended before such attacks takes place. But there is no deliberate decision inside Afghanistan to cause harm to Pakistan, and there is a long time policy in Afghanistan to never cause harm to civilians, women and children in Pakistan. So these are the positive points that the government of Pakistan should take without hasting into military action and using uncommensurate force.
All right. Mr. Farhadi, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today.